Hello. I want to spend just a few moments giving you kind of a video demonstration of how to locate free images, perhaps maybe even then resize those images or crop those images in order for you to be able to provide also an appropriate citation. And so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to go to one of the sites that in professional learning that we use frequently. This by no means is the only site, but it is one that attribution is clearly spelled out, and how to appropriately document that so that you are within the guidelines of copyright and things like that. So the first thing we're going to do, incidentally, this is my Symbaloo board if you're looking for kind of a visual way to share resources. Great tool to use. I'm going to go here to, I'm going to actually use these two links. One is it's called Free Digital Photos, so let me click on it. It's going to open up to this URL here, so I'm going to so you can see it, www.freedigitalphotos.net. So if I want to search for an image, I can simply type in learning. I can type in connected learning if that's what I want to do. I can type in math if you want to get specific in terms of specific subject areas. But I'm going to do learning here, and oftentimes these images, you can also see the topics over there to the left here. Let me scroll down for you. You can see the specific topics from backgrounds to people. You can search by those topics, but we're going to do learning. So let's see, we're going to get here, and there, and I'm oftentimes a stickler. I'll scroll through many pages, and so as I look down through here, I'll notice and discover there's the first of 154 pages. So if you have the patience to go through and look at all those, by no means should that be a limitation. But anyway, let me just for the sake of our demonstration, I'd like to start out with picking an image. And so I like this image, growth. It's kind of showing that word, the emphasis of that word in a word cloud. Now, the thing about free digital photos is I love the fact that these images are free, and they do not appear with a watermark, and so that's oftentimes very good as well. But you can look at the attribution required here. You can click on either this question mark right here. It will open up into a new page. Well, not sure where it went, so let me pull it back up. You can see here as we scroll through the attribution requirements. It talks about using the free digital these free digital images, and it tells you how to appropriately give it attribution. It says, for example, here, as you can see, right, for example, image courtesy of, and then the contributor name, freedigitalphotos.net. That is one way to document the image. You can do other kinds of acknowledgement. You can see here images from freedigitals.net. In this particular case, it's not acceptable for you just to give a blanket. This is from Free Digital Photos. You got to give the actual contributor credit as well. And so I'll kind of show you how to do that. So I'm going to come back here to the image. You can also see as you scroll down here, always important for you to recognize who the contributor is, because you'll need to know his name. In this case, I've used several of Stuart Miles' images before, and so his name is easy to remember, but some of them are pretty wacky, and so you just have to make sure that you can either copy and then paste it into the credit line. Each image will have what the particular criteria is. So this is royalty free images, and it tells you can use it for, it really does cover the gamut of any kind of application, from personal application to educational, web design, printed media, and so forth. And it gives you, you can actually access it through the specific terms of use located here. This kind of gives you a little bit more detail than what we just saw, but it distinguishes between standard licensing and extended licensing. Most anything that you will use for any kind of endeavor in your courses would be in your announcements, learning blocks would be a standard license. You can see here as I scroll down, it gives you examples of what that is. You can see websites, Facebook, Twitter, forum, blog post, printed media you see there. Another one I think is interesting down here too. I think that would be quite apropos to the work you do: PowerPoint presentations, Word documents, so forth, email, Twitter avatars, and things like that. So I'm going to kind of walk you through from download to attribution and what you can do with that, and then we can follow up with some other resources, other free image places you can go get free images, but also ways for you to perhaps maybe upload those images into your courses, whether in Moodle or Blackboard. So let me go back to the actual image. So here we go. You have the option of doing really, for the free version, you've got the small image. Okay, so you've got 400 by 400, and that typically is going to be a perfect size for what you need it with. But you have to make sure that you follow along the guidelines of what would be considered the specific size for inclusion in your courses. I know with professional learning we have specific design requirements. When we post these in a label, we use 150 by 150 pixels in terms of that size, and then when we use content, other images within the actual content itself, our images are 400 by 400 or 500 by 500. So as we start the process here of downloading, you just simply click the download button, and then it's going to give you some again the terms of conditions. You make sure you click this, and then you'll type in your email address, and so I'm going to type in my email address. Much of this, when we get a response from freedigitalphotos.net, it will go to your ncpublicschools.gov, but it will probably be quarantined, in that I don't ever use those when they send me a reminder. But I got to click a security code, and so if I'm going to pause for just a second and let the security code be revealed.
Not all toothbrushes are the same. Oral-B Pro Health toothbrushes have crisscross bristles. They're removed to 90% of hard-to-reach plaque. Feel the difference. Oral-B. Trust the brand more dentists and hygienists use. Oral-B.
So I hope you didn't necessarily hear that sound, but here we have the crisscross bristles. I typed it in, and then I'm going to hit download. So now you can see that a pop-up dialog, depending on what browser you use, and I use Firefox. So I'm going to actually save the file, and then it's going to show up here in my downloads. And so I'm going to go up here to my downloads. It's going to look very different in Chrome, very different in Internet Explorer. But anyway, I'm going to open up the image itself. Alright, so now I have my image, and so this has automatically been saved in my downloads folder. So in order for me to go and grab that, if I want to use that or put this into a web page, I certainly can. But I'm going to show you too something else I do to kind of put the attribution along with the photo, so that you don't have to remember it twice. So you upload the photo and then you have to put the attribution. So let me show you how I do that. So give me a second. I'm going to open up my PowerPoint. I use PowerPoint a lot to kind of help maybe clip an image or crop an image, and so I'm going to clear this out here. Alright, so I'm going to come up here and insert an image. And I'm going to go to my downloads. And so as I scroll through here, I got to go to, let me see if I can find it. There it is. I'm going to get my growth, and always saves it with that specific extension ID and then the number. So now I have my my image here, still the same size, 400 by 400, but now I want to give it an attribution. So I'm going to insert a text box here right up underneath it, and I'm going to the attribution that I'm going to give is image by, if you remember the contributor's name, Stuart Miles, from www.freedigitalphotos.net. So I'm going to extend this out, and then I'm going to make that a smaller size. So do it at 12. That gives it about the same length of so now I've properly given proper attribution to this photo. So now, what if I want to take this photo and I want to take a snapshot of it in order to include the image? Well, you can do several things. There's several ways that you can do this. You can either, if you use Dropbox has the ability for you to take a screen capture, and then that screen capture will automatically be uploaded into a screen capture folder in your Dropbox. But the thing is, when you take a screen capture, you see everything. You see the slide to the left, you see the white space here, but I want to cut out that white space. And so I have this neat little tool, came with the computer. So if you have a snipping tool or some kind of tool that you can go and grab, very easy. You can actually you can take a screen capture this, open up Paint, and then crop it however you want to. I may show you how to do that as well. So let me show you. I'm going to take a little snapshot of this here. I'm just going to highlight. Okay, and then I will save it to a specific place on my computer. So I'm going to go to my little pictures and images, and I'm going to save it as growth. And let's see, it looks like I've got several growth images, so I'm just going to call it growth 1 and then save it. So when I go and insert this image into into either Moodle as an announcement, or if I want to include this as a label in Moodle, or if I want to upload this into Blackboard, I can simply go and upload this image and it will automatically include the attribution. Now another way to do this is to take a screenshot of the, you have a print screen button on your computer. So if I wanted to do a print screen, I can do that. So I can then come down here to open up, let's see, open up Paint. Well, I gotta find it now. Thought I had it already marked there. So let me come here to my programs. Well, looks like I'm not going to be demonstrating that, because normally my Paint's right there and I'm not finding it, and I don't want to waste any more time on that. So let's go back to our so we're about up on time, and what I'll do is I'll create another video capture of how to actually print a screen into Paint and then crop that the way you need it, and then also demonstrate for you in another separate video segment of how to resize your images. You've got 400 by 400, so what would that look like if you wanted to go 150 by 150 or smaller, or even larger? So stay tuned for those segments.